Hello, back with another VOD review. This is a Diamond 4 Kiriko player on Junkertown. They noted in their post on Reddit that they got flamed by their team for apparently not having enough heals. They feel like they took damage angles when it was appropriate and healed when it was appropriate. I think they're just looking for some general feedback, so we'll have a bit of a look. It's a relatively long game, so we probably won't go through the whole thing. But we'll have a look at least a few fights on defense and at least a couple of fights on attack and see if we can't help them out a bit. Right, so they're playing a pretty poke heavy comp. They've got an Ashe, they've got a Widow. We're pretty like brazen in how we sort of like actually like wall climb up into like line of sight. Like, yeah, like what if the Widow just peeks like the slightly longer angle here, right? In fact, maybe the Widow can see you. Not quite, not quite, not quite. I am generally speaking on this map, on things like King's Road, first point defense, like we don't want to peek like that Widow perch at the start if we can help it, right? It's always a little bit risky. I suppose the Widow wasn't quite out then, but when you peek it, it's like 6 seconds in, so like I think it'd be reasonable to assume that a Widow could and would have like peeked out from that angle by now. So just keep that in mind. Like if you got headshot then your team actually just like loses the cart up until like here. Like the cart will be here by the time you and the team respawn from that. We take a nade, at least we don't panic Zuzu, which is good. We're in a position where we have no enemies to shoot, but we also have no teammates to heal. So this is pure downtime right now. We're still just throwing kunais at the Ghost of Christmas Past. There's nothing there, okay? So like if ultimately like there's not much point in throwing kunais at an angle that contains no enemies, right? If we wanna do something here, I suppose we could climb back up and honestly like we could look to heal bot for now. Or alternatively, if you don't want to heal bot and you wanna take an angle, then you might consider like going up around here, like you can wall climb here up to here and then do a little peek here. Hopefully you would notice the brig before too long unless the brig rotates off. But there's like a not zero chance that if the brig does rotate off and the Ashe is still there, you might be able to just double headshot the Ashe if they don't react. And then you've got a relatively safe TP back to your team. So that would be an example of like a flank or an off angle that I think you could potentially generate value from. Your team can't probably deal with you taking a lot of really long extended off angles and flanks just because your other support is a Zen who's obviously pretty low healing. But with a Sigma, like Sigma can obviously like deny angles from the enemy team and make it a bit harder for them to lay damage on. But ultimately everything you've done so far has just been downtime, right? Like throwing kunais at nothing. We haven't like looked back to heal our team. So we're either making a decision to come back to this safe angle, heal bot, and then look for some shots when the enemy team walks up, or we're trying to like take a deeper angle. Right, we're going for the deeper angle, we get marked, but we also get a shot back. I would not TP to the Bastion. I would not Zuzu. Why wouldn't I do either of those things? You marked the Ashe marked you. No one is in this angle yet. You could just stand here. Okay, you could stand here for a couple of seconds. The Ashes, like I do not think there's a world in which the Ashe drops down here to try and finish you off. Okay, like that would be like a plat player level, because if they did that, sorry, not a plat player, a bronze player move right there to drop down. Because if they did that, you would react. You could TP over to your Zen, and then the Ashe would just be like free food after that. Like she would just die for free. We don't need to Zuzu ourselves there. I think we can just de-peek this angle, maybe get the Harmony Orb from the Zen for a few seconds, and then we can look to either re-challenge the Ashe when we get some health back from the Harmony Orb, because you could just go up there and kill her right now, or you could keep playing this angle down here for a little bit, do some poke as they start to move around, because there's only about 3 seconds until people swing this corner, and then you can TP back when you need to, right? Unfortunately, we do it all pretty poorly. We end up using both of our cooldowns when we could have used none of our cooldowns. And we've also just wall climbed up into full view of both an Ashe and a Widowmaker who is over here. When we're playing against double poke, double headshot threat poke, we want to like minimize the amount of time that we peek our head up like this. So Ash's shot comes through. I don't think that the Widowmaker does take a shot on you, but just bear that in mind. That's the second time that we've gone for a wall climb against 2 snipers. This angle down here actually feels really good and really reasonable. So like, I think you could like keep playing this for a little while and keep putting damage out. Again, like with your team comp, it's difficult for you to consistently take these wide angles. Over here, it would have been fine because you were down here anyway. So it literally took you like 2 seconds to climb up to here. But for you to take this angle and go over here, that is a lot of time that your team would not have any form of healing. So hopefully that's not what you do. All right, we take this high ground. Cool. This is totally fine. I think like, okay, our Bastion is using his turret form. This is like his, this is his turn. Our Bastion is trying to take a turn. We want to empower our Bastion right now, okay? This is a key priority. We don't want our Bastion to feel like he takes damage and has to walk backwards. Do we feel like we're empowering our Bastion's turn right now? I'm going to say no. I think the Bastion didn't take that much damage, but he did take some damage and the heals were not forthcoming, so maybe that made him de-peak a little bit. I think the Bastion was also a little bit of a pussy and probably could have walked up a little bit more as well. But realistically, I would say that we didn't really contribute much through this either. We give the soldier a little bit of pocket. We see that our Zen is in trouble there, right? So we can see our Zen through the walls, even outside of a replay viewer. We know that our Zen's in a bit of trouble. We seemingly accept the death of our Zenyatta because we see him again then. We heal a full health Sigma, we heal a full health soldier, we ignore the Bastion that actually needs healing. We throw 6, 7, 8, 9 kunai and we hit 3 of them. 2 are on a shield and 2 are body shots. So it feels like there's a lot of optimization that we could do there, right? If we rewind the clock, I'm not sure that you needed to like move off of this angle as soon as you did. And then I think once you came up to this position here and dropped down, you probably could have like given a bit more pocket to the Bastion. But I think like the key thing is like, had you have not shifted off this angle so easily, you might have better reacted to your Zenyatta getting solo pushed by the hazard and being able to actually help him. Because I feel pretty confidently that although like I discourage the idea of like TPing into the unknown a lot, it wouldn't be that unknown because you would know the location of both of their snipers and the support from the tracer rounds that are coming through. You know the location from the brig because you could see the brig pushing on the car. So if we use our investigation powers, we know that it's actually just a hazard that's pushing our Zenyatta. Our soldiers up here as well. It feels like there's a world in which if you TP Zuzu the Zenyatta and then the Zenyatta gets the Discord off on the hazard, I think you and the Zenyatta actually just blow up the hazard or force him out. Like he'll just have to hold up block and then he'll either die or he'll leap out, right? So we let our team die for free. Let our teammate die for free. And the only real contribution we made was spending time healing 2 full health plays, ignoring the Bastion and missing 6 out of 9 kunai. We get the Zuzu timing there. Hopefully our Bastion de-peaks this into the side room. You need to get out.
I'm here.
I mean, a tiny nitpick, but if you could have selected the Sigma, you'd be slightly closer to cover. We don't get punished for it. We gridded our angle for a bit too long there as well, right? I think like... Fine. Zuzu, 1 more heal. All right, as soon as he breaks line of sight, we're TPing, right? It doesn't make sense for you to keep trying to play this angle, like, especially like, it feels like you're probably not going to successfully kill the brig here because there's an Anna above that can start healing her in like 1 second's time if need be. Brig can hold up shield. It doesn't feel like it's going to happen. You've already let the Zenyatta die. Like it seems greedy to keep playing for a damage angle right now when you're the only support. Like, you should be TPing back to the Sigma right now. But we really overstay our welcome there. Going for damage again. Yeah. Something weird happened to my my keyboard then. Give me 2 seconds. Alright, so we TP back. So we go up, we look for a few more shots. That doesn't seem too unreasonable. I think like the unreasonable part is that we're like forward stepping right now when we know that we're still a player down. I think we need to play like a slightly more conservative angle. I think like you come up, you go for your 2 shots, and then maybe like you really need to like play a slightly safer angle. Your team is unlikely to want to walk up and take space from this main pathway right now because you're still a player down, right? Realistically, like you probably need the fight to progress up to the cart position here for your team to like start playing the game again, especially because your Zenyatta is so far behind. So it feels like you stepping up right now, and also like taking this angle. Like you're playing against double snipers. Like are you super confident in the location of? Actually one sniper now. The Widowmaker's location. I mean, you would be now because you've just seen the tracer come through. I don't know. I feel like you peak angles a little bit too much against this Widow for my liking. You just haven't been punished yet. We don't quite have the Zuzu, but we just get mogged by the hazard because we're playing a bit too far up. Realistically, again, like we probably wanted to be backstepping back behind the tower, and I think had you have done that, you probably could have still pocketed these players and tried to help them, but you wouldn't have been as easily in leap range there. So it looks like our Zen is in a lot of trouble again. We probably wouldn't TP into that because we know that you and the rest of the team just died. So if you TP in, then you're obviously just going to die too. And there's like it's a cascade of failures that started with like the opening 10 seconds from you. Realistically, I think the Zen being allowed to just get picked for free was not good at all. This feels fine. Like there's a pretty low threat of you getting dove by the hazard because even if he goes up, your Bastion has form. So he would just absolutely melt that. Are you dropping because you think this is a contestable fight? Because I don't think that this is a contestable fight. Okay, we get the pick off. Maybe it is with that pick. Maybe it is. You need to get off this angle. Cool. We only eat a body shot there. That's good. We don't quite get the Zuzu. Looks pretty cooked actually. Every time I say that, the enemy does something stupid. The Tracer lets you kill them for free without recalling. The hazard fucks up his wall climb. But then you die. That's probably the 7th time that you've picked a Widowmaker this game, but 7th time is the charm, I suppose. It's a difficult position. Realistically, like this didn't feel like it would be a good retake. If I was in this game and if I was in voice, I would be calling for my team not to play for this retake because it feels unachievable. Your Bastion obviously agreed because your Bastion is in the same place that he was fucking 10 seconds ago before you dropped to kill the Tracer. So Bastion clearly never believed in the retake and never walked forwards. The Zenyatta was only just getting back. Like the Zenyatta would have been like way back there, I think, when the Sombra went in maybe. But it just doesn't feel retakeable. So the problem with like going for the retake here is that it really fucks you guys for the next point hold because if you can, even if you have to give up the first point, if you can set up like properly in this area, then this is a really nice area to play from. Not least of all because there's actually like significantly worse Widowmaker angles. Like the Widowmaker can try and peek up here, but like feels like a narrow angle, especially if your Sigma is playing like down here or up here. He can deny that angle. He can deny this angle down here. He can deny this angle, and then this angle here and this angle here will feel too tight for the Widow. So ideally, like your team probably shouldn't have gone for this retake, right? Even without you getting headshot here. This does not feel like a winnable fight. And there's nothing more you could have done once it got to that situation. You stay up high ground, you get headshot by a Widowmaker, you de-peak the Widowmaker, your team dies without healing, you drop down, you die to the nano-boosted hazard. Like it's a lose-lose-lose situation on that retake. Okay, we don't panic. TP Zuzu our Zen, which is good. Moving out to try find an angle. This also looks good. We get the kill. Fantastic. We're wall climbing in front of the Widowmaker again. Cool. I like that you tighten the angle to the right. That makes sense. When we're playing against like Widowmakers, Hanzo's one-shot threats, like we need to always think about that line of sight. Okay, like Widowmaker generates value just by existing, it's true, and the more scared you play, the more value the Widowmaker can get. But the Widowmaker has like hit shots so far. I think the Widowmaker's probably got like 3 final blows, to be honest, so far, and the Tracer has gotten, I think, 0. But realistically, like we can't just like cheat death all the time, right? So we need to like play an angle where like, okay, from here, yeah, we can shoot down this lane, we can heal this guy, and then we're safe until the Widowmaker pushes up. And then once the Widowmaker pushes up, maybe we need to like take this angle here until the Widowmaker pushes up. And then once the Widowmaker pushes up, maybe we need to take this angle here, and so on and so forth. But you need to keep taking these rotations where you can see your team, you can ideally still throw kunai at something, but that you're not just like dancing with death in front of the Widowmaker the whole game. This is obviously like stupid, right? Just fully within like that line of sight. I mean, I guess you're lucky that there's a cart blocking you right now. I'm not sure if that's like an intentional like thing from you. Like, is the Widowmaker just not looking at you when you walk up? All right. Actually, genius play by you, I suppose, because you timed it perfectly when the cart happened to be moving in front of the Widowmaker, which you probably just knew that. So well done. Cool. I like that we challenge off the Tracer. That's good. We do need to still look at our team from time to time, though. We killed the Tracer. This is one of the worst Tracers I've ever seen. Had recall available once again. All right, we get marked off. Now, remember like 5 seconds ago where I was like, we do still need to look at our team from time to time. Okay, you killed the Tracer, and that is good. Don't get me wrong. But you haven't looked at your team for a long time. You've traded your Bastion for the enemy Tracer, okay? Additionally, like, your Zuzu is one of the best tools to defend against the Hazard ult, which you probably should have expected to be coming because he didn't use it at the first point, right? So essentially what happens is you've played your off angle. Yes, you've traded the Tracer, but you've lost your Bastion. Now, if we think about it like a bit more logically, the enemy Tracer is clearly not very good. It remains to be seen whether or not your Bastion is any good at the game, but maybe like it doesn't feel like a favorable trade at the end of the day. It's what I talked about before with like, because you have a Zen, you can't just play like really deep off angles all the time because it's hard for your team to survive with only a Zenyatta healing them, okay? What I guess frustrates me the most isn't that you end up trading DPS. It's even after you kill the Tracer, there's no point in which you just like look behind you to see like, does anyone on my team even need healing? It's like, it's actually not going through your mind at all. You're just like, I've killed the Tracer, who else can I kill? But you are the main source of healing on your team, okay? Like, you can't just like if you... I actually hate people who say this, but I'm going to say it. If you want to play DPS, then Q damage, okay? Like, you have to look back at your team from time to time. I swear to God, the only reason you would look back at your team right now is because you're worried that you're going to die, right? It's not about like, can I help my team? It's all right, I'm inside of the Widowmaker's mind. The Widowmaker's looking at me. I need to back off. You don't need to drop here. Oh my God, you're so lucky that's a body shot. I know that he's sleeping, but like he's full health, you know, like probably don't need to do that, you know. It's, you know, like again, like how many times have we put ourselves? I said before it was the 7th time lucky. I feel like there's been 3 more times since then, right? 4 more times since then, actually. So this is the 11th time that we've chosen to pick a Widowmaker, and we're somewhat fortunate that the shot does not connect. But we die there. I mean, you know, like we're not really like a melee hero as Kiriko, are we? So generally speaking, we wouldn't be aiming to use a Kitsune Rush and then just hold W at 100 health into the enemy team, would we? You know, I'm pretty sure we die with TP available. You know, I'm here like flaming the enemy Tracer for dying to you twice when they have recall available, but you know, like, what do we fucking do? We just like walk in. there's so much to unpack in this fight, right? First of all, like maybe not great to let your Bastion get traded for the Tracer, but whatever, right? We don't look back at our team at all. There's no consideration towards our team. We only go back to our team when we need help. We drop down completely unnecessarily. We use a Kitsune Rush that only 2 people in our team have any potential to benefit from. And then during our Kitsune Rush, we walk forwards in a pretty much a straight line, take damage, and die with TP up. So there's a lot of like micro decisions, but the two macro things that I think are highlighted most from this team fight are the fact that you never look back to see if anyone on your team needs help after killing the Tracer. Your only focus is, can I get another kill? And secondly, like this Kitsune Rush is horrifically bad in so many different ways. But most of all because you've used it when you're low health, and because nobody can benefit from this Kitsune Rush except for you and the Sig, and you can't really benefit from it because you're 100 health when you use it from here, and realistically what you needed to do after that was de-peek and not walk forwards. To be honest, like you probably wanted to try and hold your Kitsune Rush timing for when the Bastion gets back, because Bastion in form inside of Kitsune Rush is just the stuff of nightmares. Like he'll instantly kill a target. It doesn't even matter if the hazard puts block up. He doesn't even need to be discorded. He will just simply cease to exist. So this is like, yeah, I'm curious to see what your other Kitsune Rushes look like, because that one's extremely low value. It doesn't feel like your team's able to convert any value from this. The rally is going to keep people alive. Your Zen ends up trying to overcompensate for your poor play by using Transcendence. So we've just used 3 ults and gotten 0 kills. And we've only traded, I guess, 2 ults for it, right? So it doesn't feel great. All right, this looks like another, like, there's genuinely no point in going for a contest here. With your Sig only just respawning, I think unless your Sombra can do absolute heroic stall right now, and your Sig swaps to like a Doomfist or something that can roll out fast, it's unachievable. So similar to like my advice at the last point, like your team probably should just give this one up and then play for next point at this stage, because it's better to play with good positioning from the start of this point than to all like throw our bodies onto this point just to, you know, delay the clock by 10 seconds and then give up the good positioning at the start. Alright, it's gone. This feels fine because you're not super overcommitting. You actually bait the brig pretty well. I need to TP out now. TP out now. Sorry. You know, I probably would have just gone for the TP sooner and kept our Suzu available, but it doesn't feel like we're actually going to get punished for not having Suzu in the next few seconds. It's a shame that we got off the Zen. And I feel like maybe one of the reasons that they got off the Zen is because of your playstyle. But realistically, Zen actually feels really good into their comp. Zen is a really good counter to getting hit by the, other than your Zuzu, it's probably like one of your next best counters to getting hit by the Hazard ult. It's also really good against like surviving a nano turn. Transcendence generally trades pretty well into a rally, and also like if needed he could survive a pulse bomb stick by using Transcendence. Moiro just feels like it doesn't interact well with anything on their team. Like it doesn't, and also the Discord orb on the Hazard makes Hazard a lot harder to play. Not that you like reached into time and space and pushed H on his keyboard and made him change, but like I would have changed off Zen if I was playing with the Kiriko that was doing what you were doing. Cool. How confident are you that no one just got stuck by a pulse bomb? In the live game, I mean, we just saw that they didn't, but like two locked in on the damage, yeah? Like what if the pulse bomb hit your Bastion then? Because that's probably who was being aimed for. I actually don't know who the Tracer aimed for. Like if I was the Tracer and if I had half a brain, I would have aimed for the Bastion and put a few, like half a clip into the Bastion just to erode his armor so that he would die. Meanwhile, you, the Kiriko, are up here trying to trade against a Hazard in a point blank duel. And so you're not Johnny on the spot with the Zuzu, which again, if this Tracer has like any sort of like ability to control their mouse and keyboard probably would have stuck and killed your Bastion then. Widow's dead, so I guess it's fine to stand in the open for a few seconds. Alright, we're going back in. We really want this hazard, don't we? Feels like our team's just dying around us while we try and flank the hazard, doesn't it? I mean, I guess we turn to heal him, but it's a bit late when the corpse is already cold, right? So I would agree with like what you said on your Reddit post about what your team is saying. Like you are spending too much time going for like angles. At the end of the day, like as nice as it would be to kill the hazard, I feel so confident that you could generate more value by like playing, maybe not this angle because it's a widow, but playing this angle and just shooting whoever tries to come out. Okay, like just heal your team and throw kunai at people who present themselves. Like against their comp, you don't need to be quite as like greedy with trying to take angles and find value. I'm confident that value will present itself to you if you just play a little bit more patient. Like I'm not saying you need to be like a complete passive heal bot and like D-peek every single enemy that looks at you and no kunai throwing at all, but like your balance is really off right now. That's a weird Zuzu, but whatever. At least you're trying to help them, right? The problem is like you're obviously not doing a good job of tracking like cooldowns because Moira has fade available, right? Yeah. Because I haven't seen or heard your Moira fade in the last few seconds, which should also mean that you haven't seen or heard that, which means that they have fade available. So they probably don't need a Zuzu there. Secondly, they are backtracking onto a mega health back already. Thirdly, like we need to think a little bit more about like ults and stuff like that because there's about to be a big ult turn coming up because the last time that they used nano was at the first point attack when we shouldn't have done the recontest, right? The last time that they used hazard ult was on the Bastion when you were going for the flank on the Widowmaker after just killing the Tracer. I could understand maybe not expecting the hazard ult yet because I feel like he's built it in, respectable time. But like you should know that there's a nano turn coming up. There's also like walls coming, that wall's active at the moment for I think about another 3 or 4 seconds. If I'm not mistaken, we'll see when I unpause it. This is all to say like you need to hold your Zuzu for things that matter. This didn't matter. The Moira wasn't going to die. The Moira didn't need a Zuzu. You're now going to be stuck inside a hazard ult. But even if you weren't expecting the hazard ult, you should have been expecting a nano turn here. And you might have needed the Zuzu to save someone from like a hazard leap with nano, right? So we need to think more about like, what are the upcoming threats for Zuzu? Like one of the worst things is just having our Zuzu forced for nothing and then getting heavily punished for that. And as you like climb higher in ranks, if you play in voice, and to be honest, even in like low diamond, surely you're hearing some of these calls. You hear calls like Moro no fade, Kiri no Zuzu, Emre no pistol, Sojo no slide. These are like go signals, right? Like you hear that call out from your team and it's like, cool, like I can punish this player if they make a mistake now. If they step up when they don't have fade, when they don't have Zuzu, when they don't have slide, then that's an easy punish, right? And so you're just making it too easy for them to punish. Even that didn't even need it to be commed, right? Because you stood in front of the entire enemy team and threw a Zuzu on a player that was nearly full health. So I'm pretty sure that they all knew that you didn't have Zuzu then. So it looks like we got a pretty good EMP, all things considered. I think the biggest reason that it probably doesn't result in a team wipe is just that although the Sombra hits 3 people and it looks really nice, maybe even 4 people if it extends to the Widowmaker, your team's just not quite ready to follow up on it. And the Bastion is sleeping somewhere, yeah. So slightly mistimed from the Sombra, but I'm interested to see how you die here. Right, go up, yeah. How are you feeling about this decision making here? Granted, we don't just want this this Widowmaker to shoot for free, but you have just lost 3 players. I mean, you know what? It's fine, actually. There's no point critiquing it because you've just lost 3 players. So at the end of the day, the best thing you can do right now is to either die quickly or get a trade. And you've maybe gone for a trade and you've died quickly because there's just enough time for one more fight. And you've nearly got your ult. Right, we TP to a... Did we have information that would have let us know that the hazard wasn't there? Did your hog die? Because I would assume that you would be watching your hog's POV while you're dead. You're still dead, still dead, still dead, still dead. You respawn now. Nah, okay, fair enough. Just checking, like if you TP'd to the side that you knew the hazard was on, but obviously not, and then the hazard is literally leaping as you go out, so that's not on you at all. Unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be difficult to get a good rush off now. The hazard is marking you super hard. You die, but your Bastion is inside of this rush, so it's actually like there's an outside chance right now. Never mind, the Brig Rally stun is just too strong. Alright, let's skip ahead. I think we'll just watch like 2 team fights at most on attack. Alright, so we've changed our comp a bit. We have gone almost full dive with the Bastion. Right, so we're playing more centralized with our team this time. We really don't have a choice but to do that because we have a Jetpack Cat. And I think you're Payload Princess as a result. I would TP, 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 because your Bastion is standing on the cart, so you know that the cart will still move. It's not really TPing into the unknown, I feel, because we've seen a lot of information leading up to this, right? We've seen that our monkey has walked forward, bubbled. We've seen that no one has stepped up to challenge the monkey directly, right? We just saw Torbjorn's head poke up and we saw him jumping backwards. Even without the benefit of walls, like we have that information. It feels like a safe TP to our monkey right now because the bubble's going to still be up for like 1 or 2 seconds, no? The bubble's only halfway through, right? So we could TP to our monkey right now. We could feel really safe in doing that because we know that if anything's here, we can just DP the corner and we can get behind a monkey bubble straight away. It feels like we just let our Genji die for like no good reason, right? We hit the Zuzu there, but monkey's so low, it's impossible for your team to continue on in this team fight now, right? So just too slow on the uptake there. Didn't make the right decision to TP in. If there's a monkey bubble there, you should feel pretty safe to TP in, to be honest. Alright, so our Jetpack Cat's pulling a lot of aggro right now, which feels really good. The Widowmaker's down, that also feels really good. This doesn't feel like value, shooting the Sigma shield. Cool, at least we don't Zuzu the monkey. So again, we're getting information. I should turn walls off maybe when I do reviews in future just to demonstrate that you have all the information without the benefit of the wall hacks, okay? Because you know that the Sigma's down there. You've seen the Brig here, and now she's walked this way. You've seen the Torbjorn there, and you've seen the Anna there, okay? So, and we know that the Widowmaker died. So we know the locations of all 4 enemies, and the 5th one is in respawn. The reason I point this out is, why don't we TP to our cat, get on this angle, and then walk up and support our monkey? We wouldn't TP onto our monkey because we'd be TPing inside of the enemy team. But like, you cannot heal the monkey from this position because it's going to be line of sight blocked, okay? It's a long rotation for you to walk here and wall climb up, but our Jetpack Cat is right here, okay? And our Jetpack Cat is probably going to go in this direction, no? Maybe not, okay. Still, I think we can TP to our Jetpack Cat and come over here and start supporting monkey. It just, again, it feels like a lot of downtime, a lot of doing nothing. So a monkey goes in, he does create a bit of space, but ultimately he's 1v4ing, so he has to back. We throw a bunch of body shots, we miss our Zuzu, we heal our monkey, we are trying to damage our Jetpack Cat. Okay, I mean, to be honest, our monkey should not have jumped then, so that's not on you. there was obviously like timing where you could have given the monkey a lot more heals. One, you could have gone up there with the jetpack cat and then helped the monkey. Here we see our monkey trying to fall out. We see that he's on low health. We go for like a few shots on the brig. I guess I was making fun of you when I say you missed your Zuzu. Like someone walked in front of you. You were obviously trying to hit the monkey. We heal the monkey once and once only, and then we decide fuck the monkey, right? Monkey shouldn't have jumped, but it would have been nice if he had a bit more health, you know? Cat's dead. All right, all we can do now is either look for a trade or die fast. Cool. At least we die relatively fast. All right, last fight, then we'll wrap it up. Oof, that's a lot of kunai. Maybe our kunai, the one out of the 7 kunai we hit, actually might be the reason we get the kill though in the end. So that's good. All right, hey, I like it. That's like genuinely the first time that you've like seemingly used sound cues to know that your team needs help and turn around to heal someone. Unfortunately, the cat dies. I don't know that you save the cat if you react to anything there anyway. Savable. Okay, the Bastion isn't. The monkey was. Let's wrap it up. That team fight, I think, wasn't too much on you. Like, the jetpack cat probably shouldn't have been there. The monkey got baited into a nanode rallied brig. Ultimately, I think most of the issues that you have in your game were easily spotted on defense. So it's not adapting to the playstyle, and I feel like I've done 2 VOD reviews recently on Kiriko in the last week, and it's been the same problem in the other 2 as well, like the lack of adaptation to what your team comp actually is. So I think in another VOD review it was like playing, I think in the other 2 it was because the Kiriko was playing with the Mercy from memory, and they were still trying to do this really like heavy off-angling playstyle, and like the Mercy just can't generate enough healing to keep the team alive during like high pressure team fights while the Kiriko off angles. So unless you're like actually just fragging the fuck out and hitting like headshot kunai after headshot kunai and just like cleaning up the enemy team, it's probably more valuable for you to play a slightly more safe position, still throw out kunai, but also make sure you're healing your team, right? Because as I'm sure you know, Kiriko is a weaving hero where you can throw a kunai heal, throw a kunai heal, throw a kunai heal, and you don't lose any healing uptime, right? Same with like Baptiste. You'll have times and patterns where you might throw 3 or 4 kunai and then heal, and then 2 kunai and then heal, and sometimes you might even do like 3 heals in a row because there's a Widowmaker with walls up and you don't want to peek anything. But at the end of the day, like Kiriko doesn't have to choose between damage and heals. Kiriko can do both. And I think like your lack of adaptation or recognizing that like I'm playing with a Zenyatta, but I'm still just gonna like do my own thing is like a key part of why your team starts to die. 1, because you let the Zenyatta die, but 2, like Zenyatta heals is just not enough to keep your team sustained, especially not in Diamond where people just do like stand there and take damage. Like in Diamond ranks, people don't value the health pool enough. Like they'll wait until they get down to like 25% health and then they'll think I should probably use cover. The problem with that with the Zenyatta is that 30 health per second takes a tremendous amount of time to heal somebody back up, right? I think as well, like in addition to like not adapting your playstyle to the support that you have, you are kind of just focusing a bit too much on damage while your team dies around you. You know, like when the Zenyatta dies, when the Bastion dies over here, and there was something around here as well that I forget. I had the Bastion dying again here when you were trying to like chase the hazard, right? So I think you do need to like maybe prioritize your team and healing a little bit more. But actually the 2 biggest like macro fundamental mistakes that I think like really bothered me, like beyond just getting locked in on damage, was the times where we don't look back and see if our team even needs help after we get a kill. We're just like fuck it, we ball, let's keep GPSing. And then also like that ultimate was like horrible. The other ultimate can't really like criticize too much. At the end of the day, it's, you know, it's the round is about to end, you need to use it. You used it in a way that was valuable for the 2 players that were alive. But just really try and think about like you know, like if I use an ultimate, like what's the upshot of it, right? Like who's actually going to generate value from it? And if it's just you and a sig, then it's like usually not very good, right? Additionally, like we do see you like wasting Zuzus and having to self Zuzu a lot, and really just like not respecting threats, like not respecting the Widowmaker, walking directly into a Brigida several times and getting punished for that, right? Like you get some good kills on the Tracer, but you know, this Tracer is one of the worst Tracers that I've seen. I did a silver Tracer review recently and they seem significantly better than this Diamond Tracer. Yeah, so again, key things, I think adapting your playstyle to what your team comp actually suits, and not going for off angles when you have a really low healing support on your team, or at least going for less off angles. Maybe not to say go for no off angles, but prioritize healing a little bit more. I think also you need to show more awareness of your teammates and your teammates' needs. Like, do they actually need any help or support from you? And you need to be looking back at your team at a regular basis and not just like fully locked in on what you want to do. And finally, I think like if we can really put some thought into our ultimate usage and try and make sure we generate a little bit more value from it, hopefully that will help you out a little bit. Good luck.